Welcome everybody. Welcome to you if you're joining me live, and welcome to you if you're joining me on catch up. I'm absolutely delighted that you've chosen to take time out of your day to treat yourself and to give yourself time to connect and just to be. If you haven't experienced one of these sessions before, my intention is that you will experience at least one benefit from the session, and that applies whether on now with me live or whether you connect on catch up. Hello Tracy, lovely to see you. And yeah, so we'll just go with the flow and see what comes up. So why don't you just settle yourselves now and make sure you're comfortable. If you need a glass of water, make sure that's in reach. And just take a few nice breaths where you're just observing the breath. You're not trying to influence it in any way, but just get comfortable and connect to your breath. Bring your attention into your breath while I just calm my head and get ready to get going. And earlier today, I did have a sense that today's session would have an element of focus of a consciousness of connecting to yourself. And this is very much in my awareness now as we start the session. So bring your attention to your solar plexus, which is between your belly button and the bottom of the breastplate, in the abdomen. And maybe just imagine that you're breathing in and out of that area. And do that for a few breaths. And there may be a sense of a slightly heightened pulse, or a sense of nervousness or agitation, or that fight or flight response is a bit kicked in, that things aren't totally calm, and that's fine. Just observe it and just breathe. And you might now experience a sense of flow down the body towards the feet. Maybe it's a sense of weight releasing down the body into the soles of the feet. For me, I always find it's in the soles of the feet because I'm standing, but if you're sitting or lying, it could well be through the contact points that you've got on the chair or whatever you're lying on. Equally, it could flow down the body and down and out through the feet. So just however aware, if it presents to you as a sort of flow, just go with it. Whatever's happening to you is perfect, and that is just right for you and your experience right now. So just allow it and observe it, and just again focusing on the breath. And you might find that your breath is getting slower and deeper. Okay. So what I'm aware of now is a sense of heaviness around the gallbladder. Now, the gallbladder in Chinese medicine is associated with decision making, and you know, as the world begins to open up again, there is this sense of well, it could be anything on the scale between dread and consciousness of the need to adjust. And it could, as I say, it could be anything on that scale. So we have this awareness around the gallbladder. And I should just mention, for those of you who are new and haven't experienced one of these sessions before, that everything that comes up is neutral and comes up to be rebalanced. So there's no sense of judgment with anything that comes up. And your body, your system on every level, emotions, physically, mentally, electrically, energetically, spiritually, could be anything. You know, your system will know on what level or levels it would like to balance the things that come up in the session, and that's fine. So it's just our observation of these things. Everything is energy, including consciousness or observation. So that's how we play with these things and how this enables your system to rebalance, which it can do so easily. Okay. So there's consciousness of steadiness. A steadiness of, as in a sense of feeling centered in your body, where everything feels like it's in the right place, but also a steadiness of outlook, a steadiness of perspective, a steadiness within yourself. This is coming from a sense of feeling centered, of a connection to that calm inner knowing. And it's very much a sense of steadiness, no matter what is happening in the world around you. It's that sense of having that sense of steadiness with no matter what's going on around you. So there's this connection to your heart field, to your heart chakra. This is an energy center, to your sense of self-acceptance and inner knowing. We've also got the brow chakra, this energy center, sometimes called the third eye, which is all to do with your insight and your intuition. And this is very much coming up at the same time as your heart field. And so it's very much to do with feeling and knowing, combining in that sense of steadiness. And it's a gentle sense of connectedness and steadiness. It's quietly confident. There's no need to shout about it. It just is. Okay, so we're focusing now on the chest area, on the lungs, and there is a consciousness of the release of the emotion of grief. It's to do with the release of excess grief that no longer serves you. And it's to do with grief connected to your observations. And it's a permission to release that excess that you don't need anymore. You know, when we have an emotional release, it's not to release the whole of an emotion, because obviously we need you need your full spectrum of emotions, but this is to allow an excess of, in this case, grief to release. And there is a consciousness of centering and steadiness and rebalancing without the weight of that grief around or within you. And there is this sense of taking a moment, of not rushing, just being without doing, taking that moment to gather into yourself, to connect with yourself, with your observations, with your interpretation of what's happening in the world around you. And that could refer to your near world, or it could be a more expansive concept as well. Okay, we're now back to the breath, and just to the focus. Just observe the gentle rise, natural gentle rise and fall of your breath. And there's consciousness at the heart level, of consciousness of courage to step forward. You know, there's the sense of a sense of newness. So it's a sense of a new step, a step in a new direction, or a new beginning. It's that kind of idea. So as with anything, when we step into something that is unfamiliar, an element of courage is often useful or needed. And this is connecting very much to the heart field. So there's a sense of anticipation and excitement, and it's an expanding sense. And this is very much connecting to this awareness of moving forward, the courage that's needed to move forward, but to this sense of anticipation at all of that as well. And again, we're just taking a moment of being rather than doing, just observing the breath. Allowing yourself space. Space from your thoughts, space between your cells. The pause before doing. Okay, so if you take your attention now to the top of your head, and just imagine there's this beautiful white light flowing down in through the top of your head, flowing down through your body, connecting even down to the soles of your feet, and spreading out through your whole body, through every system and organ and cell in your body, and out beyond the body into the energy field around your body as well. And there's a consciousness of cleansing involved with this awareness of this light and the flow of this light. And there's a sense of expansion and of potential. How do you see things? What do you want? How can you live the best possible version of your life? All of those kinds of questions or thoughts popping in. So it's cleansing, and it's to do with expansion and potential. And yet it feels gentle and comfortable as well, because it's connecting to the core, your essence. And it's just connecting to your inner state of peace. And then we've got our attention gradually working its way down to the soles of your feet, and to a really connected, grounded feeling, that connection with the earth, that stability. So that sense of stability is connecting back into your sense of inner knowing that came up earlier, into your insight and your intuition, and to your potential, to this consciousness of the potential to live your best possible life, whatever that means to you. And then we've got grounding again. Well, there we go. That is the end of today's session. So I hope that suited you now. I can still feel things processing a bit, so I'm just going to hold on for a moment. Okay, so we're just conscious of that light switching off and a sense of coming back into the body, and of breathing, oxygenation of all the cells in your body, and really coming back into the physical sense of your body. And again, grounding. So we hadn't quite finished the session at all. We were almost there. Okay, I think we're probably here now. Let's have a look. And there's just this very clear sense of grounding, of connection with the earth, and everything settling. There we go. That is the end of the session. Really is now. Okay, so if you've enjoyed today's session, do let other people know about it, because I'm doing them weekly, and my intention is that anybody who would like to use them can do so, and the more comments there are, the better, the more the algorithms pick up these sessions and will pass them, hopefully make them a bit more easily available to people. If you want to book a session with me one-to-one, just go through my website, amandaweller.com, and you can contact me there. And it just remains for me to thank you so much for taking time out of your day. It's just, a real honor to be able to share what I do, and for you to feel that there is benefit from connecting with me. So I appreciate that very much indeed. And I'll see you next time.